The samurai didn't lose battles because of enemies. They lost when their mind left the moment. In the late 1500s, in the quiet mountains of Japan, a samurai master was once asked a strange question. How do I defeat many enemies at once? The master didn't answer immediately. Instead, he asked a different question. Why are you already surrounded? That single question exposed a truth most warriors never understood. The greatest battles are lost before the sword is drawn, not because of weak technique, not because of poor strategy, but because the mind leaves the moment. This is the secret that separated legendary samurai from forgotten ones, and it has nothing to do with fighting. It has everything to do with how you live. Right now, you're facing many enemies. Deadlines, expectations, regret, anxiety, distraction. And just like those warriors centuries ago, you're losing ground, not because you're incapable, but because you're not fully here. This story is about how one young samurai learned the most dangerous skill of all: presence. Chapter 1. The Hidden Weakness. The year was 1598. Japan was emerging from decades of civil war. Peace was fragile. Discipline was everything. In a small hillside dojo, a young trainee named Haru had trained for years. He was fast, precise, technically impressive. His strikes landed cleanly. His forms were flawless. But something was missing. During sparring, his breath would tighten. His shoulders would rise. His movements would hesitate at the worst possible moments. Other students sensed it. He looks strong, they whispered, but his spirit wavers. Haru knew it too. Every time he faced an opponent, his mind ran ahead of the moment. What if I fail? What if I'm embarrassed? What if I'm not enough? And the more he thought, the worse he performed. One evening, after training ended, Haru approached his teacher. The master sat silently before the shrine, unmoving. Haru waited. Minutes passed. Finally, the master spoke without opening his eyes. "You are skilled," he said, "but skill is not strength." Haru felt the words strike deeper than any blow. "You are fighting tomorrow's outcome instead of today's moment. Until that changes," the master continued, "you will always arrive too late." That night, Haru didn't sleep, because deep down he knew the truth. His enemy wasn't the opponent in front of him. It was the noise inside his own mind. Chapter 2. The Lesson Without a Sword. The next morning, the master gave an unexpected command. No weapons today. The students exchanged confused looks. Instead of training, they cleaned floors, tools, the shrine. Haru worked impatiently. This is a waste of time, he thought. I should be improving my technique. Then he noticed the master. Every movement was slow, intentional, complete. When he lifted the broom, there was only lifting. When he swept, there was only sweeping. Nothing else existed. After hours of silence, the master called Haru forward. "What did you practice today?" he asked. Haru hesitated. "Discipline," he guessed. The master shook his head. "Attention." He pointed to a hanging scroll. 2 simple characters. Beginner's mind. When a beginner holds a sword for the first time, the master said, what fills his thoughts? Haru thought carefully. The grip, the weight, the movement. Exactly, the master replied. No fear of failure, no desire to impress, no future, no past. Only this moment. You lost that. That day, Haru realized something uncomfortable. He had been training his body for years, but abandoning his mind entirely. Chapter 3. Training the Invisible Muscle. From that day forward, Haru's training changed. Every action became practice. When he walked, he walked. When he ate, he ate. When he breathed, he breathed. No rushing ahead, no rehearsing outcomes. At first, it was unbearable. Time slowed. His mind rebelled. This is pointless. Others are advancing while I stand still. But he persisted, because something subtle began to shift. One morning, during quiet sitting, the internal chatter paused, only for a moment. But in that moment, Haru felt something he had never known. Stillness, not emptiness. Awareness, like waking up after a lifetime of dreaming. From then on, he understood. Presence wasn't effort, it was allowing. Chapter 4. When the mind gets out of the way. Weeks later, sparring resumed. Haru faced an older student, stronger, faster, confident. In the past, fear would have taken over. But now, Haru simply stood, aware. The attack came suddenly, and his body moved before thought could interfere. A step, a deflection, a response. No planning, no hesitation. The exchange ended quickly. Silence filled the dojo. The other student stared at Haru. That felt different, he said. It was. Haru wasn't reacting from memory. He was responding from reality. For the first time, he understood what the master meant. The mind is too slow. Presence is immediate. Chapter 5. Why this actually works. Modern science would later confirm what warriors knew instinctively. When attention anchors in the present moment, fear loses its grip. The brain's threat system quiets. The body accesses trained ability without interference. This is why overthinking ruins performance. Whether it's combat, speaking, creating, or living. You don't fail because you lack ability. You fail because thought interrupts action. The samurai had a name for this. Mushin. No mind. Not the absence of thought, but freedom from being controlled by it. Chapter 6. The Final Test. Haru's final examination came without warning. A formal duel. Witnesses gathered. The master stood before him, calm, unreadable. Haru felt fear arise, and let it be. No resistance, no suppression, just presence. The duel began. Steel moved fast. Danger was real. But something remarkable happened. Haru stopped trying to win, stopped trying to prove, stopped trying entirely. And in that release, clarity emerged. When an opening appeared, he didn't rush. He waited, because awareness revealed what ambition could not. The master lowered his blade and bowed. "You are no longer chasing moments," he said. "You are living inside them." Chapter 7. The Lesson Beyond the Dojo. Later that evening, the master spoke one final truth. "Most people spend their lives preparing to live," he said, "thinking, planning, worrying. They die without ever arriving. Presence is not a technique. It is a decision. A decision to meet life directly, without running ahead, without clinging behind, just here, now." Closing reflection. You don't need a sword to live like a warrior. You need attention. Right now, this breath, this sound, this moment, that is the battlefield. And presence is how you win without fighting,